So this is going to be a relatively short video of me putting together the castle foundations for the castle, of course, from Hametsu. Now, a couple of points. The box here, I originally thought that what you're looking at is the bottom of the box, but it is not. So we'll get to that in just a moment. So on the instructions, it doesn't really show that this side here, this stays up as you're putting everything together. So I did, thankfully, I went ahead and I did some reinforcement on these pieces using my regular trick of waiting until it dries a little bit and then just throwing some glue into the corners. Now make sure you keep everything steady. Use the applicator to just kind of push it in the corners. This will help you keep everything together and sturdy. And since this is going to be the inside of the box, as you can see, you won't have to worry about people seeing that extra white glue that's there. Now, you could even take it a step further than I did. As you can see, I'm just kind of trimming a piece here to make sure it fits. Always, always, always check it and test it before you start gluing. But anyway, as I was saying, you can take a step further and you can put some glue in the corner of every single corner here. But I just kind of threw everything together, popped it on, and this is me just kind of testing to make sure everything fits. Now, the tops of these, now when you're working with a project like this, you can't get everything 100% right to size, unfortunately. That's just how these things work. So on mine there's a little bit of a gap, but we'll show you that in a second. So make sure that you put enough glue on each side, and I actually forgot the two sides of the box that's glued together, as you'll see here in just a second. But I went back with a little bit of glue on a brush and I just pushed some glue into those recesses to kind of give it a little bit, but I put enough glue on everything else that it should stay together just fine. Now when you're putting this together, this is going to be at a slight tilt, these outer walls, the brick walls, and this piece here might have a little bit of a gap between the wall and everything else. What you want to make sure it lines up with is you want to make sure it lines up with the inner edges that have just the bare wood, because that is where you're going to stick the castle foundation together so you can put the castle on top of it. Now, I had actually thought about doing magnets or maybe installing some sort of latch or some sort of like wood clips, but then I realized it'd probably be hard to get together and break down and be harder to store if it were so big. But as you can see here, me weighing it down with the Hametsu book, but you can see that there is a slight gap right there, and what I've done is I've taken some glue on a brush and I've kind of filled it into those gaps as best I can. I used the applicator of the glue first, and then I used the brush to smooth it out. Now this is me showing you one of the sets of stairs that I built. I went ahead and built one because there's 4 of them just to get a good handle on the way it works. Now this is actually, it may look intimidating because the amount of stairs on it, but as long as you take it slow and don't get too nuts with it, it actually will go together pretty easily. It actually helps if you have something flat, as you see there, to help stick the two sides together and line them up properly. And you literally just run some glue into each of the little recesses there, and then you stick the stairs or the slats here, you stick them up and you just make sure they're flat. I mean, it's just that simple. It does go together pretty well. You might have to adjust a piece or two, as you see me doing there, but honestly, just like the other stairs that I built for the mill, these went together really, really well. And there is one marked specifically for the top, and it actually says top on the piece, so that will help you out a little bit as you're putting it together. But as you can see here, I just kind of lined up that first tab and then stuck it in there, and everything just kind of went right into place as it should. I mean, it's pretty simple. You can put a little bit of glue in there like I'm doing, just put a little bit just to reinforce. And don't forget this top piece, because it is actually important to line everything up. Now these stairs, as long as the miniature you're putting on them is not too tall, you can actually put a miniature on the stairs and it will stay fairly well without any kind of assistance or blue tack or whatnot. So these side pieces are fairly easy The best way to do it is to lay it down, flatten it out, put it on its side, and flatten it out. Now this piece, I didn't know what this piece was. I had to actually ask Doug, the guy who designed the game, like, what is this piece here for, before I even started putting it together. This is actually just a little side piece so you can set the stairs at an angle. And I did not know that. As I was like, as I was putting this, or as I was looking through the instructions, I was like, what the hell is this used for? And I couldn't figure it out for whatever reason. I suppose if I had just put it together, it probably would have been easier for me to figure out. But this piece goes together really easily. The one side clips together and the other side just lays against it. It's not that hard. Just line everything up, make sure everything's straight, and then once you line all that up, you just put the square top on here, and you're good to go. It'll butt right up against the building, butt right up against the stairs with no issues. So literally that's it. I mean, this is probably one of the more simple kits that I've put together, to tell you the truth. And this is how it looks on the table. It looks really cool. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't wait to put the castle together, and I am looking forward to the final result. I'm sure the castle is going to be super complicated, but I can't wait. So this is what it looks like. So good. So far, so good. And we'll see you on the next video, as I hopefully am putting together either the watchtower or the castle. If you've enjoyed this, please toss me a like and subscribe.